I went vegan because I thought I was finally doing the right thing. No animals on the plate, less damage behind my food, no guilt at dinner. Then the uncomfortable part arrived. I was still doing the right thing, but I had no idea what I was missing. One day, holding a carton of almond milk, I realized the label had answered only one question. It told me what was missing from the food. It did not tell me what my body still needed, where the ingredients came from, or what had been damaged before the packet reached me. So, what does the vegan label still hide? The first thing to admit is that veganism makes sense for a reason. Animal food has a cost that becomes hard to unsee. Animals are bred for meat, milk, and eggs. Land is used to grow feed. Cattle produce methane. A whole system exists to turn animals into products. So, when someone removes animal products, it can feel like stepping out of that system. And that feeling is not imaginary. Major food impact research repeatedly finds that beef, lamb, and dairy tend to sit high for land use and greenhouse gas emissions. Plant based foods usually come in lower. Plant milks generally use less land and produce fewer emissions than dairy milk. If your diet is built around beef, dairy, and processed meat, moving toward plants can be a serious environmental change. That is why the simple vegan story is so powerful. It gives you a clean line to follow. No meat, no milk, no eggs, less animal suffering, lower footprint, better choice. And sometimes that line is right. The mistake begins when that line becomes the whole map. This is where the argument needs honesty. Some attacks on veganism are lazy. Soy is a good example. People talk as if tofu is the reason forests are cleared, but globally, a large share of soy goes to animal feed and industrial users. Blaming vegan consumers for the whole soy problem is misleading. So, the point is not to collect anti vegan arguments. The point is that even when veganism is moving in the right direction, the label itself is still narrow. It says there are no animal ingredients here. That is useful. But it is not the same as saying this is a complete meal, a low impact crop, a local supply chain, or a good replacement for what you removed. The label can be true and still leave out the part that matters next. And for many people, that next part starts in the body. The body does not care that your choice was ethical. It does not know you are trying to protect animals. It does not know you are trying to lower your footprint. It only knows what arrives every day. This is where the vegan switch can quietly go wrong. Milk becomes almond milk. Yogurt becomes a coconut alternative. Eggs become toast and coffee. Chicken becomes plant nuggets. Breakfast becomes a snack bar because the packet looks healthy. From the outside, the diet still looks clean. Inside, the body starts asking a more boring question. Where is the replacement? The clearest example is vitamin B12. B12 helps the body make red blood cells and supports the nervous system. Reliable natural sources are mainly animal foods. If someone avoids animal products, they need B12 from fortified foods or supplements. That does not mean veganism fails. It means the diet has a required step that the label does not explain. And B12 is only the easiest one to see. Vitamin D can become difficult when sunlight is low or food is not fortified. Iodine, calcium, iron, zinc, selenium, omega 3 fats, and choline can all become planning questions depending on what the person actually eats. Then there is protein. Plants have protein. Lentils, beans, soy foods, nuts, and seeds all matter. But plants have protein is not the same as this diet gives enough high quality protein every day. If Greek yogurt becomes coconut yogurt, protein was not replaced. If eggs become toast, protein was not replaced. If a snack is vegan but mostly sugar, starch, oil, and salt, the body does not care how ethical the packet looked. This is why some people go vegan and feel better, while others feel tired, hungry, weaker in the gym, or confused when their blood work changes. The difference is not the word vegan, the difference is planning. A strong vegan diet usually needs legumes, soy foods, whole grains, nuts, seeds, vegetables, fruits, fortified foods, and often supplements. For children, pregnancy, breastfeeding, older adults, and athletes, casual guessing becomes even riskier. Done well, it does not look mysterious. It can look like oatmeal with fortified soy milk, a lentil bowl, tofu or tempeh, vegetables, nuts or seeds, and B12 taken on purpose. Supplements are not proof that veganism is bad. Many modern diets depend on fortified foods. Deficiency is not a moral failure. But if nobody tells a new vegan that B12 is not optional, the clean choice becomes risky through silence. That is the part I wish someone had made impossible to miss. I was checking packets for animal ingredients, not asking whether the replacement could actually carry the diet. That is the first hidden bill. Removing animal food can remove harm from the plate, but if the missing nutrients are not replaced with intention, the bill comes later. Sometimes as fatigue, sometimes as cravings, sometimes as blood work, sometimes as a doctor asking what exactly you have been eating. And once the label misses the body, you start noticing what else it missed. Follow the almond milk backward, not from the front of the carton, from the shelf to the importer to the crop. Compared with cow's milk, plant milks generally have a lower environmental footprint. That matters. Almond milk is usually much lower in emissions and land use than dairy milk. But almonds ask a different question: water. Almonds are a thirsty crop, and much of the global almond trade is tied to California, where water stress is not abstract. That matters when almond milk is sold as a clean, ethical upgrade. That does not make almond milk worse than dairy. It means the label removed the cow. It did not explain the water. Now follow a vegan snack backward. It may have no dairy, no egg, and no animal ingredient at all. But the ingredient list can still include palm oil. Palm oil is complicated, but unsustainable palm oil has been linked to deforestation, habitat loss, and biodiversity damage. So the snack can be animal free and still carry a forest risk ingredient. Now follow the avocado backward. It looks like the picture of modern clean eating: plant based, rich, green, healthy looking. But in parts of Mexico, avocado expansion has been tied to water pressure, land use change, deforestation concerns, and enforcement problems. That does not make every avocado dirty. It asks the question the label never asked: where did this one come from? Then follow the shortcut foods: vegan burgers, vegan cheese, vegan nuggets, vegan desserts, vegan protein bars. Some are useful, some help people leave animal products, some have a lower climate footprint than the meat they replace. But the food industry knows how to sell a halo. Vegan cheese can be mostly starch and oil, plant based meat can be high in sodium. A snack can be ultra processed and still wear the cleanest looking label in the aisle. By this point, the pattern is hard to miss. Vegan is a filter. It filters out animal ingredients. It does not filter out water stress, deforestation risk, ultra processing, long supply chains, weak nutrition, or a missing B12 supplement. Almond milk, palm oil snacks, avocados, and processed substitutes are not proof that veganism is bad. They are proof that animal free, healthy, low water, forest safe, and low impact are different questions. And the mistake is letting one word do the work of an entire decision. So, what does the vegan label hide? It hides the second half of the decision, the part after you remove the animal product, the part where you still have to build the meal, replace the nutrients, trace the ingredient, and ask what kind of harm moved out of sight. Veganism can be one of the strongest ways to reduce harm through food, especially when it replaces a diet heavy in meat and dairy. But by itself, it is not automatic health, automatic sustainability, or automatic ethics. It is a starting filter. That is a truth I wish more people heard before going vegan. The question cannot stop at, is this vegan? It has to become, what did this replace? What does my body still need? And what did this product cost before it reached me? Because the label can tell you what is missing from the food, it cannot tell you what is missing from the decision. Number Number viewer question. What is one thing nobody told you before you changed the way you eat?